So fucking close. So fucking close. Nearly got fucking everything!
There was this night. I remember it as if it was yesterday. I sat alone in the Garrison, every candle burned down to nothing, a gun on the table in front of me. I genuinely did not know if I should continue to the next morning. Back then, I was probably in the same situation as you are today. No one was coming for me, but I wasn't sure I wanted to keep going. The risk that everything might fall apart, that my life would be changed all of a sudden, was just too much to stand for me. I've never told anyone what happened that night. Until now. Stay with me, and I will not only reveal my feelings in this moment, but also teach you how you can overcome your moment of desperation. Chapter 1. The Wait. For an outsider, that all maybe makes no sense. I was the leader of the most respected clan in Birmingham. Money, power, women. I had it all. There was pressure, there was risk, of course. But it had been that way for quite a time. And the odds I was getting away with it were still higher than getting caught. You have to understand what was sitting on my shoulders in that moment to make sense of it. This time, things were different. We had stolen the guns by accident. A crate of Lee Enfields, BSA rifles, government property, meant for something much darker than I knew. I didn't steal them to start a war. It wasn't a rational move. When I think about it, I should not have done it. But in that moment, I just stole them because that's what we did. We took what wasn't nailed down and we sold it. It felt right and safe in that moment. But these guns were nailed down. By the IRA on one side, men who didn't negotiate, men who sent messages with knives, not words. So they sent us Churchill's man, an inspector, sent straight from Belfast specifically to destroy everything I had built. He didn't want the guns back. He wanted to make an example. And somewhere in the middle, my family. My brothers, my aunt, my sister, pregnant and terrified. Every single person who carried my name was now in the crosshairs of people I could not outshoot, outrun, or outbribe. I had built something out of nothing in Small Heath, out of the mud and the blood of France, out of factory smoke and canal water. I had built something real, a future for people who had no right to expect one, a future that was now at risk. In one night, I had put all of it on a knife's edge. That weight was not a metaphor. I felt it in my chest, like a stone that wouldn't move. Every breath was shorter than the last. Outside, I remained unmoved, but inside, I didn't know if this all was worth living if the risk materialized. Chapter 2. The Temptation. But there was a weapon even worse than the guns. Her name was, well, you already know. She had come into the Garrison quiet and careful, like she belonged there. She poured whiskey with steady hands. She listened. She asked the right questions at the right moments. And she had opened a door in men I hadn't opened in years. I trusted, told her things I would never tell anyone. I took a significant risk just to find out she was an agent. Every word I'd said to her, every plan she heard, every moment I thought was private, was transferred into a report filed in a leather notebook sitting on the inspector's desk. I remember sitting in that pub alone that night after I found out, And for the first time since France, I felt something I did not have a name for. It wasn't anger. This was something colder. It was the feeling of a man who had just realized he took a risk that might change his life forever. And the world just kept asking, why did you do it? And what now? I could walk away. I had thought it through. Leave Birmingham, change the name, disappear into London or Glasgow or New York. Let someone else inherit the guns, the debt, the war. The thought was clean, almost peaceful, and that terrified me more than anything else that night, because I recognized it. I had seen that look on men in the trenches, that stillness right before they stood up into the fire, because they had simply stopped being able to imagine another way. I was sitting in a chair and was just empty. Chapter 3. The Turn. I don't know how long I sat there. At some point, the candles went out. I was still there in the dark. Gun on the table, glass empty. And then a thought came. It was rather a question than anything else. If you walk away, who will carry the burden? All these people around me, my brothers, my former comrades, the entire community were looking up to me. While they were struggling, I was their tower of strength. The oldest brother, who drank until he couldn't stand. The younger brother, who led with his fists before his head. The aunt, who was strong enough but had already given everything twice over. And the sister's unborn child, who hadn't chosen any of this. There was no escaping the weight, just dropping it on people with smaller shoulders. That was the spark in me. The spark that no money, no power, and not even the grand vision of the Shelby Empire could provide me with. I had made a choice years ago, in a tunnel under no man's land, with shells falling and men dying around me. If I get out of this, I will never be the reason someone else doesn't. That was the line. It has been ever since. So I picked up the gun, unloaded it, put it back in my coat, and I started to plan. It wasn't a completely safe plan. It involved risks like everything in life. But it was reasonable. A plan that required me to walk into rooms with people who wanted me dead and convince them I was worth more alive. We all know how it played out. From the outside, everything seemed orchestrated. The guns went back. The inspector got what he needed from me. The politics stood down. My family made it through. But behind the facade, it was a more tedious process. I am also a human being. I do have emotions. The differentiator is, I don't display them in public. None of it happened because I was fearless. Of course, I also opened up to people around me, people that also betrayed me. Still, I kept my composure to the outside world. That way I won, and so can you. It happened because I chose to act inside the fear, to keep moving when every signal in my body said stop. Chapter 4. The Lesson. Everyone tells you that successful people don't feel fear. That's a lie. They sell it to you to keep you feeling inferior. I felt fear that night so total, so complete, that I genuinely could not see the morning from where I was sitting. It was the risk that killed me, the fear what would happen. This was real, yet partly irrational. The difference was not that I had more courage than the next man. The difference was that I had a reason that was bigger than my own survival. Find that reason and keep going. Admit possible risk, but assess it rationally. How huge is it in reality? Maybe 20%? Or only 10? Don't play it down. Take it seriously. Yet, focus on the more probable outcome. The odds are strongly in your favor, so why worry? In these kind of situations, don't look for a vision, a goal, a title. Search for something more concrete, a reason that makes your own comfort irrelevant. There will be a night when everything is at risk, when everything might collapse at once, when you've been betrayed by someone you trusted, cornered by enemies on every side, and the quiet thought of simply stopping will feel like the most rational thing in the world. But the most cruciating thing, they create risks. Risks that not have materialized and are unlikely, yet they could materialize. Here's the truth. These moments are part of life. Of course, everyone will give you tips how you could have avoided the situation, but this is theory. Life is different. We cannot avoid risks. Take them with composure. Everyone has these situations occasionally. These risks rarely materialize, so why should they break you? And in those moments, the only thing that will carry you through is knowing exactly what you'd be leaving behind.